Let's make all the dudes criminals and all the women hoes.
Right.
Why are you just strictly so bent on this is all you want our young kids to hear?
You know why?
Exactly. So that's why I say it's no conspiracy.
Yeah,
it's right in front of our face.
Crucial 13, you all appreciate it. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon.
Look at this. Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now. All right, what up, y'all? Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and leave a comment in the comment section. Now, salute to Holdin Court Podcast, one of my favorite podcasts right now. Definitely go subscribe over there for some of the best interviews you're going to hear. Definitely ask the people the questions that the fans actually want to hear about. And in this particular interview with Krayzie Bone, seeing how, Ice Cube came out talking about what Krayzie Bone already was talking about, which is these private prison companies being in cahoots with the record label companies. And, Ice Cube's been coming out talking about that as well, elaborating on that. And, Big Court actually took advantage of this algorithm right now and booked the guy who actually started talking about that in the first place, which is Krayzie Bone, and we're about to take a look. And now, before we continue, just remember, if you're wondering why the radio and entertainment and Hollywood and all that type of stuff pushes such a negative image onto the poorer communities, the hoods, the ghettos and all that type of stuff, and it's even starting to break into the more richer areas, the more cleaner areas, so to say. Yet at the same time, they censor a lot of stuff that they deem harmful to society. Like they would censor us for talking about the Democrats and saying, hey, this is harmful to society. You're spreading misinformation about corruption that you can't prove or anything like that. But at the same time, they'll spread corruption throughout the music and stuff like that. And nobody's doing nothing about it. Now you can't stop the artists from talking about this type of stuff. But when you're platforming it, that's a whole different discussion. So the fact that they're pushing them negative agendas on the people, and at the same time, it creates criminal behavior and activity, which in turn gets you thrown into prison. It's like a perfect system. Here, we'll push the music that creates the criminals, and we also got the prisons that house the criminals. Perfect.
You said that you I know you had said somewhere, I think it was on your podcast, that there was a big meeting, with the record labels in terms of and basically the record labels and the owners of the prisons are in cahoots. They're the same people.
Yeah.
You really believe that's a thing?
Man, yes, it could be. There's a lot of big corporations that have ownership in prisons. It's rich black people that got ownership in prisons.
Right.
They just don't go around bragging about it. That's one big move they don't go around bragging about.
I actually think they're instructed to. If not instructed to, they choose not to talk about it because they're too busy, keeping up this Marxist narrative that, white people are the slave owners and black people are the slaves. So they keep that up. And even this group called the Black Nobility, which is the dirty Moors, not all the Moors, because a lot of the Moors are good, and I rock with the Moors. But we're talking about the negative side of the Moors actually run more of this country than y'all think. And these are the people that Krayzie Bone's talking about, whether he's privy to that information or not. But they're the ones that sit atop of this whole pyramid. Because yes, the Moors was in this country before a lot of people was.
Bro, it's no secret, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So you feel as if basically they own the prisons and they're using the music to market, basically niggas to do what they do and get locked up.
It has to be a reason why. First of all, hip hop has been the dominant music genre for decades now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing that this is knowing that this has, you know,
the influence.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's the music we need to focus on. Hip hop became popular and because, you know what I'm saying, it was the main music, bigger than country music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what if this is what got the kids, that's what we want.
Hollywood is a branch of the government, by the way. The CIA does fund movies as well. So it's not far-fetched to believe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I hate to really make this political and ideological, but most of the liberals run Hollywood too. They're direct agents involved in this type of stuff. And most of the liberals are behind like the Black Lives Matter movements and all these leftist movements that, you know, condone like anarchy and all that type of stuff. When they know this type of behavior toward the police is going to get you locked up, and it has got a lot of people locked up. Now they create the illusion sometimes by, you know, some cities was letting out criminals soon just to make them think in their mind that, oh, I can get away with this. But then watch, sooner or later they're gonna be like, okay, this order out of chaos is gonna come in, and it's like, okay, we can't have you guys just destroying the city. Now we gotta, you know, throw y'all in jail. But this is how they condone the behavior, because once they condone the behavior, they create more of the behavior. Because what you are, it's just like when you're raising a kid, whatever they get away with, they're gonna keep doing. You know what I mean? So they condone it just like that. Keep that in mind. This is a lot of leftist liberal propaganda as well.
Like, to me, it's not so much conspiracy, because it's like they do it in front of our face.
Okay, so it ain't even conspiracy. This is what it is.
No. We see, man. Why do every artist always complain? How come every black buyout movie you see starts good, ends bad?
Right.
Every last one of them.
Right.
Every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
And even the ones that don't end off good, they end off psychologically making the viewer think it is okay to be savage or, you know, demoralized or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, some of these movies, the enemy is the authority. And this is a Marxist tactic to create, you know, a war between the authority and the civilians. So what it do is make you fight the authority, which has the power to throw you back in their prison. So it's another psyop. Some of these movies end like that, where, you know, the citizen or whatever gets over on the authority, or, you know, where it paints the police as the bad guy, or it points the government as the bad guy. And we know they are. You know what I mean? The same government we talking about are the ones programming y'all just like this. But they paint it in a way to create the disdain between authority figure, which stands for like law and rules, and the citizens who are taught to break the rules. And the whole government isn't corrupted like that. There is a good side of the government. There is a bad side of the government.
Take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So, you know, it seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, you know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails.
Interestingly enough, Krayzie Bone and Ice Cube both are, you know, at the forefront of talking about this type of corruption in the system, the real systemic oppression, not the systemic oppression that the lefties want you to buy into. Oh, the racist, everybody's racist. No, the same people that's telling you all that stuff to go fight Republicans and conservative and Donald Trump is bad and all this type of stuff. They're the same people invested in these entertainment sources, the news, the media, the music, and everything like that, pushing this agenda and condoning it. Okay, you don't see none of these Republicans or anybody coming out saying, hey, I like that new Cardi B song, or I like that. You know what I mean? Look at the ones who's defending that, who was encouraging you to do that. But it's funny that Cube and Krayzie Bone is the top two talking about this. And I remember back in 99, 2000, they actually had a song that had a good message to it, but it wasn't being promoted. Song they was pushing a positive message. Now this doesn't mean every single song they was making was all positive and stuff like that. But the difference is the artists nowadays, they're only pushing out so-called feel-good music, party music, you know, low vibrational music. None of it has a good message. None of it. And Ice Cube and Krayzie Bone actually made this a single on Ice Cube's album, and it just wasn't pushed like the other singles Ice Cube had on the album. One was Hello with NWA. The other one was You Can Do It, the song from Next Friday with Mac 10. Those songs got a way bigger push than that one.
You being so deep in the game and being so accomplished, you know, being that you are part of a huge group and a huge artist. I mean, you know, you'll go down in history as one of the most accomplished rap groups. Have you ever been approached by any weird shit in the music industry, or in terms of that, like them trying to get y'all to, say this, do that, you know?
Bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I tell people, you know what I'm saying, as far as music, I tell people this, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't come out like trying to glorify violence or none of that. We were led to believe this is your chance to tell your story.
Right.
They the ones with the cameras.
Now, I know a lot of people gonna say, well, Bone did glorify, quote unquote, violence and stuff like that. But there is a difference between being like that and just rapping some stuff that you know. Somebody that's really from that, talking about all they know, and they're young and they're kids and they're being platformed to just be themselves. And there's a difference between that and glorifying it. Meaning like somebody who thinks it's a fad, thinks it's cool, and is gonna start promoting it and making it seem cool to intentionally to mislead people. Yes, out of context, it may seem like anybody who raps about violence and stuff like that is so-called glorifying it. But if you actually look deeper into that, get the whole picture of what he's saying they was actually like that, and they got platformed to be like that, to push that agenda. The same thing what Ice Cube said. He admitted, yeah, we was used to push that type of agenda, but we was just kids being kids. Like I even made this comparison. Like, if you got some young 15, 18-year-old kids rapping about drug dealing and stuff like that, because that's what they doing. Most of the kids right now think rapping is cool and stuff, and they live in that so-called demon life, savage life, and all that type of shit. Do you blame, I blame them, but do you blame them for being platformed by these so-called moral record labels that, they care about pushing out misinformation, and the same media that's run by the people running around censoring everybody? You're being platformed by them. Is that really their fault for being platformed? Now, it's their fault for rapping about that type of stuff and all that, but you don't platform it. And y'all know, like with the Chicago drill scene and all that, you know a lot of these rappers is living what they rapping about. Like, say, Lil Durk and King Von and Chief Keef or all them, they're not glorifying nothing. They really live like that. Now, is it responsible for one of these record companies to say, hey, let's platform that? Because the truth speaks volumes. When a kid or when somebody hears the truth coming from somebody, it hits a different resonance. Meaning, like, a lot of people could mislead the community. They could be rapping about anything. They might not be about that. And, you know, some people might blindly follow them and stuff like that. But the people that blindly follow them who ain't even about that is definitely going to follow the ones that's really about that. That's why in this day and age, that music is creating more turbulence in the communities, because it's real. It's resonating.
They the ones glorified it. Mm-hmm. They the ones put it on TV and did this and did that, you know what I'm saying? Put it in front of them, like, you know what I'm saying? And we were fools because we played into it, you know what I'm saying? Like, not knowing that they were going to use it to kind of entrap
exactly.
the people coming from behind, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's crazy though. It's like a lesson learned, but it's crazy because it's like the lesson ain't being learned.
Right. You know what? I think it's something to that too, bro. Because if you go back to like our generation, see, in our generation, we had balance. Mm-hmm. So we had NWA, we had the gangster shit, but then we also had X-Clan, we had Public Enemy, we had KRS-One.
Exactly.
Even when you go to the females, you know, we had Choice, we had HWA, but then we also had Queen Latifah, you had MC Light. Now it's all one way.
And that's a great point from Court, because the industry ain't pushing or promoting nothing with any substance or any conscious songs. When's the last time you heard something that's unifying on the radio, like a conscious, real conscious hip-hop record? Then to go back to what Krayzie Bone said, when you're a kid just making music, you don't think that your music is being used to corrupt people. And a lot of the protesters came out against that shit, saying it's going to corrupt the kids. But we're taught at that young age just to not buy into that, to say, oh, they think we're corrupting kids. Well, it's on you to let your kids listen to it. Well, the kids are going to end up listening to it. And that's why Krayzie Bone said they kind of fell into it, because it's like they song Thuggish Ruggish Bone, where in the beginning we're not against rap, we're not against rappers, we're against them thugs. You know what I mean? And that was a activist kind of letting them know, hey, this music, you know, it is what it is. And Bone's reaction to that was, man, don't, you know, you hating on us, or you know, you doing that. We're programmed to think like that. But in the end, when you grow up, you realize, wow, they was corrupting kids with this shit. You don't think that when you're young. You ignorantly think, wow, these people are giving us a chance to get our voices heard, or some stupid shit like that. Like they really care about y'all's story.
One way.
It's just one way. So I think what you're saying is kind of, we're seeing it, like you say, is right in our
man. Yeah, it's crazy, because it's kind of like, okay, let's make all the dudes criminals and all the women hoes.
Right.
And right there is spot on, right there. All the dudes criminals, all the women's hoes. The biggest push the hip hop is getting right now is, you know, drill music, or even not even just drill music, but that style has broke its way into mainstream hip hop rap music, to where everybody's talking. Even Drake, they're making songs about spinning the block, or you know what I mean, all this other bullshit, right? The biggest shit they're pushing is taking drugs, selling drugs that they know is gonna hurt people and kill people, mixing drugs with shit that's poisonous, not caring, running off on your drug dealers, like literally straight up, you know, defiance, pushing murder. The number one thing is pushing killing right now, and a lot of people is doing it. You damn near, because everybody knows that these rappers are living their lyrics now, you don't even feel good about yourself if you're rapping about that, unless you actually did it. So a lot of these assholes are catching bodies right now, murdering people. Okay, they push that's the number one theme that's pushed in the music from the men, and pimping hoes and doing all this type of shit, right? Now, what do you hear from the females? Everything I just said about the males and being a whore. That's it. And they got these liberal groups out here to protect it. Meaning, like, if you shame any of this whole activity, you're a slut shamer. You know what I mean? And I hate to make it political again, but if you know your politics, you know these parties, how they get down, these groups, these ideological groups, it's coming from the liberals who are in bed with the Democrats and all them. That's their policy. All these females rap about is everything the men rap about. They rap about wanting a man who kills people, who is a D-boy, who does all this shit. And they rap about everything that got something to do with slutting themselves out or whatever. You know, this video is all entertainment. Nothing in this video is fact. I don't got no issue with any of these type of groups. We're just saying what it is. I mean, go down the list of the names. Ice Spice, Glorilla. We'll even throw Cardi B in there, because whatever. Every female rapper, Suki, Sexy Red, rapping about her asshole, like all of them. None of them have any substantial message in their music, and even if they did, I don't want to hear that from them anyway, because you know damn well they don't mean it. But you got this salute to Black China, who I know isn't like your typical rapper or something, but she was a hip-hop figure that came out against that, and now you ain't heard about her since. They don't want nothing to do with that.
And I seen something the other day. It's like, bro, it's just wild. Like just the agendas they pushing. Mm-hmm. Just like there's more than one kind of genre of hip hop within hip hop.
Exactly.
It's not just what you hear on the radio.
That's right.
It's talented young people that's very talented that's like kind of forced to change who they are just to get into the industry.
Just to get in, yep.
And then when they get into it, they got to stay that way.
Got to stay that way, yeah. Because if you try to switch it up,
yeah,
you're done.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like everybody is being forced to sound, look, act, talk, dress the same.
That's right. That's right.
It's not a lot of variety. It's a lot of people, but it's not a lot of like different styles.
Yeah.
It's you got to shuffle through the fuck. There's some out there though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to shuffle through a lot.
Yeah. See, in our day, you couldn't do that. You was biting. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You was biting. Like,
That's
you
what
didn't want to sound like nobody. Even if you were in the arena of somebody, like, okay, excuse me, like if you go with y'all, but then you got Crucial Conflict, you got Do or Die, you had 3-6, but even still, it's different.
Yeah.
If you know what you're listening to, then you know it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Twister is different from a Bone. A Bone is different from a Tech 9. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
and man, like again, you know what I'm saying? If that's what they want to do, that's cool.
Right.
But why are they playing hip hop like that's the only form of hip hop it is? They don't do R&B like that. They don't do no other genre like that. Why are you just strictly so bent on this is all you want our young kids to hear?
You know why? It's
exactly.
The biggest influence.
So that's why I say it's no conspiracy.
Yeah,
it's right in front of our face. It's right there. We just got to look at it like for real.
Remember, it is Marxism at the end of the day. It's teaching people to stay in their criminal, demoralized state and keep them from growing, developing brain-wise and mentality-wise. You know, and if you actually criticize a person that's rapping about that type of degeneracy and all that, they will say you're racist. Clearly, a white person criticizes that, they're going to get called racist. A black person criticizes that, they're going to get called a sellout. What that is, and a lot of liberals and Democrats do that, they're the ones really projecting that type of stuff. What they're doing is projecting their own racism, though. Because you let me know that you think people that commit crimes is just black people. You think all black people fall under that. So if I criticize a black person that's talking about degeneracy and stuff like that, you think I hate all black people because that's your ideal of what black people are. Now, do y'all understand why we call the Democrats and the liberals the real racists? But here you got Big Court, you got Krayzie Bone, Ice Cube, all these people saying, hey, that's not the reflection of, their people or, whatever. It's not a reflection of the people. It's actually a negative image of the people. It's not the image. So if somebody got a problem with the degeneracy and they call it out, they're not racist for doing that. They're just got a problem with degeneracy and not even just got a problem with it like, oh, I hate degenerate. Like, they're really concerned like where the country's headed to and why is this happening? Now, if these Republicans, these conservatives, Trump or whoever was so worried about slavery and locking people up and stuff like that, why are they critical of this degeneracy being pushed by the left? The people that's critical of it is actually going to help stop it in the end. If I correct my son for being a knucklehead and say, hey, you being a knucklehead, knock that shit off, he might, I might be able to save him from being a knucklehead and ending up in prison. But they program society to where you do criticize and you try to correct somebody, you're a racist. Okay, you see how that shit works? That's Marxism. And to keep piggybacking off of Krayzie Bone, Court, and Ice Cube's point, is that's the condoning of the behavior so they can keep perpetuating the behavior so they can keep getting these prisons filled up. Okay, that's why they're acting like the criminals' friends right now, because it's the condoning that's going to keep you in that state. Like I said before, if your child doesn't get corrected for nothing, he's being condoned, then he doesn't feel the need to change. So he's going to keep fucking around. All right. So yeah, man, I hope everything in this video made sense. Definitely go subscribe to Big Court, Holdin Court podcast. And he's a Master P's guy. And y'all know I'm a big Master P fan, No Limit fan. I got a lot of videos, documentaries on No Limit, Master P, on how he was always against the industry and all that. So this definitely one of my favorite podcasts because it actually represents, No Limit. And for No Limit fans to actually feel like we got a decent voice in the culture to represent what we grew up on right there. So big salute to Big Court, Holdin Court Podcast. Salute to Bone Thugs and Harmony, my favorite rap group of all time. Salute to Ice Cube. Y'all hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit the like button on all my videos, and let me know what y'all think up in the comments. I ain't woke, I'm up.
Crucial 13, you all appreciate it. Shout out to you.
Get crucial.
I'm hungry. I need some bacon. Look at this.
Look at it. This is the city I'm in right now.